All right, everybody, today let's go ahead and take a look back at this historic snowstorm.
Just about 2-3 minutes ago, we just started getting snow already accumulating here on the vehicles. We've got probably 3 to 4 inches on the ground now, finally. Travel is getting a little bit dangerous.
Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this historic snowfall event that occurred near Buffalo, New York just last week. In fact, the snow actually started on Wednesday the 16th. Didn't really end until Sunday the 20th. Wednesday night, we got the pre-show. We got that 8 to 12 inches just south of Buffalo, some of those more rural areas. We actually went out and took a drive and live streamed some of it for members only and in our partner app, which is RadarOmega. Nothing too incredible at that point. That 8 to 12 inches, it's really not a whole lot when it comes to, parts of the Northeast or the Midwest, because that's pretty typical with some of these snow events. But what was about to come the next day and the following few days was definitely not average. So if we fast forward to Thursday, at this point, we had already had our time lapses set up. We've partnered with meteorologist Don Murray and the RadarOmega app. We were able to set up this awesome time lapse here of the snowfall. This was streamed live into the RadarOmega app. So the snow began to really come down Thursday night all the way through early Friday morning. And then we had a little bit of a lull in the intensity. And then Friday afternoon, we got slammed again, and we got it really hard. We had parts of the road being shut down. Cars couldn't get anywhere. It was an absolute nightmare. However, what really impressed me is the fact that we had 6 feet of snow and still had open lanes of travel. But we were seeing people with front wheel drive cars that were just too small to go through the snow, semis, everything stuck in places that they shouldn't have been. It was just an absolute mess. My friend Brandon Kopic is also a storm chaser, also partners with RadarOmega. He was on scene. He was also trying to pull people out of the ditches, and he had a little bit of a rough night. Didn't really expect this to happen, but while we were actually sitting in the middle of the roadway, walking back and forth, trying to figure out if we could get cars unstuck or not so that we could actually continue, a group of utility trucks behind us came up to us and said that they were getting through no matter what, and they wanted help to figure out how to get through. So we were just really trying to get these folks through, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of the guys from the utility company came up to us and was going to tell us something and just start screaming, "Oh my God, that's my brother. Holy shit. Move." Out of nowhere comes this plow truck thing just barreling through like 2 feet of snow like it's nobody's business, and then a utility truck, and then utility truck after utility truck. And right before we were going to make our way through that path, Brandon decided that it would be a really good idea to lock his keys in his car running. Fear not, I had something to break the windows. We got the window broke, got going. We get out of there. All right, no big deal. But as we're moving on, we just encountered people stuck everywhere, small cars especially. We were trying to make our way back toward the Depew area, which is where our temporary home base was. And what would normally be about a 20-minute drive, I think took about 6 hours by the time we tried one direction and then had to come back and then tried another one. And that was stuck, so we had to go another way. It was just absolutely horrible. However, what was really incredible was the next night. We had a lake effect snow band coming through here, and this was kind of oscillating its way and kind of transporting its way north into Canada. And then it was going to come back down again, but come through pretty quickly. We'd actually decided to take a real quick detour to Niagara Falls, and spoiler alert, everybody, myself and Don realized that there's actually 2 waterfalls there. Didn't know that. And we visited both of them in the freezing cold and like single-digit wind chills, after we thought that we drove into Canada by mistake, but we didn't. We stopped to go out to eat and we encountered some of the most intense whiteout conditions I saw out of this whole event. Out in the middle of nowhere in kind of one of the weaker snow bands. I was really surprised. It took us like 2 hours to drive this like 30-mile journey here back to Depew. It was just absolutely crazy. But regardless, folks, this was a historic event. I can't stress how incredible, though, that Western New York managed the infrastructure with this system. We had snow as tall as I am, and I'm about 6 foot tall, and there was still open road. That's incredible. There were a lot of closed roads, but still open roads, and emergency services were still operating. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that video. And if you want to track these storms and actually track my location while we're storm chasing, you can download the RadarOmega app here. This thing's awesome. It works on Mac OS, Windows, Android, iOS. Those links are actually in the download description. And a special thank you to all of our YouTube supporters, because you guys really do make storm chases like this possible. Of course, if you watched this live, thank you again. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the little thumbs up, like button if you did like this, because we're going to see a lot more historic storms like this on the channel. In fact, over the next couple of weeks, it looks like we're seeing signals for maybe some severe weather and maybe even a few snowstorms. So it's always active over here on our YouTube. Be sure to check it out.